Hi everyone, thank you so much for tuning into my tarot channel today. My name's Paulina, and I made a commitment to myself to do a reading every single day for as long as I can until my steam runs out. And today I have a bit of a different energy because I'm having some dental issue and having some pain sort of shooting up my brain. Headache and toothache because of, I don't know, I have to go to the dentist. Anyway, so I have a little different energy than yesterday when I was a little bit loopy. And that's what I love about channeling, is that you can see so many different elements of someone's personality, the channeler, but also obviously they're hopefully a person who's able to draw on other personalities and other moods of other people. So there may be a lot of different kind of energies coming through the reading that are different. So okay, so I'm just going to pick up on the energy. I'm called to do just 6 cards, and 6 relates to Venus. So maybe you're dealing with a relationship issue here, because Venus rules relationships. And yeah, the first card is Knight of Cups. There's somebody that is thinking about you in a romantic way that you may not be aware of. Since it's a knight, it's like maybe they're far away, or maybe they're traveling. Maybe there's someone who is on a journey in some ways. I also got King of Pentacles. This person may be very into money, and like maybe you see them as materialistic or something. We also have the 9 of Cups. Yeah, I think you're searching for some inner contentment and some some pleasure that you find on your own. Maybe you're someone who's been in relationships a lot, and that's why this Knight of Cups is on the other side of the King of Pentacles. It's like maybe money also came between you interacting with this person. Maybe you're trying to find your own resources and you haven't had them or something. We've got 7 of Cups reversed. So you're seeing through a fantasy, and for a long time you were in a stalemate. Maybe you were nurturing to this person in a way that was like practical, but also had elements of caretaking. Okay, but Spirit's telling me to look again because there's something negative here. There's a reason that the King of Pentacles was between your inner contentment and this person. So let's see. What's the darkness here? What's the darkness here? I'm being called to ask. Bad public reputation, intuition, and a deep rest, or coming out of a deep rest. So maybe this person has a bad reputation that you didn't know about, or maybe the interaction caused one or both of you to have more of a bad reputation in some way. But also with the High Priestess, I feel like this darkness, that this person may be very concerned about what people think in general. And at the same time, I think that with the 4 of Swords reversed, I think they're really sleeping on some, like in a negative way, something here. They're sleeping on something that they know with their intuition is maybe not right. Let's see what that is. What is this person doing that's perhaps not right? This person maybe has trouble with making choices. Okay, they're deceptive, and maybe they deceived you. The deception also has to do with the sign of Cancer here. Cancer is a moon, is related to the moon. I have a moon in Cancer, if you want to know. Anyway, so this person may have a Cancer in their chart, and you know, with Cancer we may only see part of the moon at certain times. So there's many moods, and they cycle the moods, and it actually has to do with the tides, the way the moon relates to the tides, and basically it's a sign of someone who could be duplicitous, but it's not. I don't know that it's intentional. I think it's more part of a person who has a changing personality, okay? But this person did actually hide something from you about themselves, which was that they Maybe we're in the middle of making a choice, maybe between you and someone else here. Maybe you didn't even see the situation that way, but there may have been someone else involved. Maybe they were with someone or you were, but let's get more on this choice between people and the deception. 10 of Pentacles reversed, Page of Pentacles reversed, 3 of Cups reversed. So there was some sort of like community, maybe like there was too many people, too many cooks in the kitchen, two's company, three's the crowd. Like, you know, there was like at one point harmony, but then like maybe you came and disrupted, or vice versa. Maybe they disrupted some harmony that you had in your life with another person. It was like, I'm just getting the energy of like a third party, like either they were involved with someone or you were, or both. And maybe you weren't even dating this original person that we're talking about. Also, Page of Pentacles can be about financial loss. I want to read it here, especially with the 10 of Pentacles reversed. It's about sort of upheaval in the home life, like just finances not managed, maybe a bad living situation. Maybe one or both of you are in that right now. Let's get more about their behavior. I'm getting some energy that they like dissed you, or they like did something that you were like, this is like beneath me. Let's get more on that. Yeah, this person's intention, why would they insult you? Well, this person has the intention of like harmony and happy family, really, and like creative home life, which is the opposite of the 10 of Pentacles reversed. And they may have seen that with you, but there also had to be an ending to your interaction, because I feel like maybe their cups got overflowed here with the 10. Like maybe you were overwhelming your energy. Maybe it was very positive for them. And so somehow you broke this person's heart. I don't know how. And then also I'm getting that you had some broken heart from this situation. It's a lot of mirroring here. Let's get a closing card, and then I'll do some channeling. Ooh, 10 of Swords. Yeah. It's like a deep pain here. I will add this, sorry, Knight of Wands. Really the final cards here. That like there was some sort of like ending that I'm almost seeing like birds being let out to fly free or something, like just an image that came to my mind from spirit just now, or from my guides, that like this ending brought someone, maybe one or both of you, to a spiritual quest, because I can relate the fire signs to spirituality and just intuition and spirit. And this would be maybe Sagittarius or Aries. So maybe this person has those in their chart also. But they definitely, I'm just going to listen a little bit. This person felt very hurt by you. And if you could be a cross watcher, maybe this is like about you or about the other person. I don't know which way it goes. But this person felt very hurt. I'm going to tune into their energy a little bit. Feel very dizzy. I mean, this person may have some equilibrium problem, or like maybe even just like some, what is it called, that you're vertigo, maybe like some, or just like some, maybe they have some issue where they're like dizzy right now, like migraines or something. They may have an allergy, maybe like a sensitive person. They may have allergies they don't know about. But this, yeah, okay, that's important here, Spirit's saying, because something about your energy was like, it was like agitating to them, okay? And they didn't know how to keep it from you. And they tried to make a surface. There may have been pressure to make this relationship work. And so something about you hit them the wrong way. And they tried to like hide that and make it socially acceptable. But then, of course, this agitation will come out in other ways. So I think they may have like said something mean or said something. But then I think there may have been an origin point where you said something that they were offended by. That's not your fault. I think really this person like isn't good at being like, and I'm seeing actually with their auric field now, they're getting a lot better at. I'm seeing like a hole closing up, like an old wound. I'm seeing that their prior energy was like literally like Swiss cheese. Something about interacting with you, a lot of stuff got healed, even though I don't think it was a very positive relationship in some ways. There may have been like some negative, but okay, so you like agitated them, almost like a pearl is agitated in the clam shell, or like you take wool and agitate like fibers if you're like a fiber artist, or like there's plenty of ways to agitate things and make something new happen. Even just like cooking is like, it's like just like you have to like stir things, and you can't just like let it sit there or it will burn. That sounds important. Spirit's telling me that phrase, you can't let it sit there or it will burn. I think that you saw that this person may have been complacent in their life, and you were like, okay, you're playing with fire here. And then also you maybe have seen something negative about them that you didn't judge, but you were like, this isn't good. Yeah. And then, but okay, this is where the mirroring happens, because they saw something like that about you too. You saw something that you were like, this is dangerous, you're playing with fire, and they saw something like that about you too. And I think there was more of a, with their thing, it was like, I think this person judged you a lot. You may have felt very judged by them. And I'm also getting this weird communication thing. It's almost like you kept, one or both of you is like trying to explain, and the other person's like just completely shut down, you know? And then the other person's being like, I noticed that you're completely shut down. And the other person's just like, I'm still shut down, you know, like minimal whatever response. Not just words, but energetically too. This may have been like a limited, like this person may have been limited in their spiritual capacity, and I'm seeing that you like changed and grew beyond their capacity in some ways. Yeah, this person has a lot of, I don't want to paint anyone in a bad light. They may have like addictions that you don't really know about, or like, maybe like their relationship that they're in, it may be over now, or actually it's not as stable as it seems, or maybe that person is disloyal, or, you know, and they look the other way, or maybe that person is like, you know, just not in their life anymore. I don't know. I'm just saying that because I think that you see them as part of a couple, and I don't know that that's the truth really here. Maybe maybe if they are, it may just be like, because for the necessity of money. I don't even know where this stuff is coming from. It tells me I'm channeling. I'm seeing the color pink, and also just like rubies, like rubies, like the, I don't know what, I think rubies relate to the heart space. Maybe this person opened your heart space a little bit. But I was gonna say, like, they come from some trauma that, like, they come from a family where, like, no one talks about their feelings really, and it almost is like any intense communication is like threatening. And again, this could be either way. This could be you or them, this part of it. Let's look at your energy, the viewer. I saw the color green immediately, like a very verdant, like forest, like green. And I'm thinking of the movie, oh my god, what is it called? You know what, it's this movie, oh, what is it called? It's where they go into the woods, and their friend has like died, and they're doing this like trip in like Sweden or something, hiking, and they get really lost, and they end up in this like town where the villagers like worship this like monster. Anyway, it's like you think it's not fantasy at first, and then it like clearly is very fantastical. I'll put it below, but it's in the beginning you think it's just like, oh, this is about friends honoring their dead friend. It feels like some sort of like crime movie, and then you realize it's like this like fantasy movie halfway through. You're like, oh, they're lost in the woods because it's like mystical enchanted woods. It's a great movie. Oh my god, I can't think of it. It's the something. I'll find it. It's a really simple title, but anyway, it's from Netflix. But Sweden may be an important place for someone watching. Germany also. I'm also seeing some viewers from like Finland or like Denmark, or like with my mind's eye, like somebody in Iceland at some point. I'm seeing some like Puerto Rican or like Brazilian viewers, maybe like some Japanese viewers in the next couple years. Sorry, it's just some channeling. Yeah, and when I look at your energy with the verdant green, it's like you are ready to grow some things in your life. You're very like fertile right now. Maybe literally, maybe you like want to have a baby, you know, and you're like, that's on your mind. And for some reason I'm getting that this person, even though it's like a really negative relationship, has like thought of that with you, okay? And they may be like very let down right now that that's like, that was just a fantasy. Since we got the 7 of Cups reversed, it's like they're maybe seeing, maybe they like fantasy. Okay, yeah, I think this person has problems with like fantasy thinking. And in the interactions with you, they may have started like negging you at a point because they felt negged by you. And I don't think you really were trying to. But then the fantasy, like maybe they had this fantasy about you. And also you sort of had a fantasy about them. But it's like, I don't know why this reading is so symbiotic. I'm sorry. It's like you both were in such similar energy. And it's like, you had this fantasy about them, but you were a green thumb because of the green. You were like maybe younger or like afraid of their issues, and while they may have made gestures, or they were younger and afraid of the intensity of the dynamic and what they would have to do. Yeah, I think I'm just seeing like a sculpture, like of a statue of Mary. Or no, actually it's not Mary, it's Agnes, Saint Agnes with a lamb. I'm sorry, that's very specific. I'm not, I think Agnes, I don't know what she is the patron saint of anymore actually, but she had a tough life. I don't know. I think she was, maybe just for her virginity she was killed. Anyway, because she like refused to renounce her Christianity, and I don't know. But that, she's shown like with her long hair and with a lamb, I think she had to maybe sleep outside, then she was like abused by her like stepmother and stepsisters or something. It's kind of like a Cinderella story. Anyway, whatever. That's coming through. She had a shitty life basically, and she was killed because she refused to, you know, renounce her virginity, and I forget what she's the patron saint of. But it's coming through. Maybe someone's named Agnes. Also Agnes Varda, just the artist. Maybe somebody is an artist and it's a really great filmmaker, just like a French person, and she is French, and she was, and think of the movie Dumb and Dumber, okay? Here's the connection, because her haircut is so specific and like creative. It reminds me of the movie Dumb and Dumber and their bowl cuts. I think this was sort of like, you both are like a little bit foolish in ways, okay? But like, this person didn't realize how smart you were. And also, you didn't realize how smart they are. It's like 2 different kinds of intelligence. Oh, I can't stop. It's like this and that. It's like, it's just basically that the energy was so similar. And also I'm seeing a fish. You know, the fish has to do with life and death. And just the sign of Pisces and change. Being mutable, being adaptable, communication, spiritual communication, death. So I wouldn't take this person's like comments that seriously, because I think they may have been trying to prove a point, and they proved it, and in doing so you kind of proved your point, and now it's kind of like there's not much left to say, is what I'm feeling. Confirmation hugs. Anyway, so I'm just gonna pull out of this energy. It's a little bit intense. I almost feel like it's 2 magnets that are the same you know, they're not the right opposing forces, so they're like, is a resistance, you know? If you've ever tried that with like really strong magnets, you put like 2 negative ones together, or is it 2 positive ones, and they're like, you can feel the resistance. It's like, there's a force here, but both people are like, oh, I don't want to deal with the dynamics here that are tough. You know, it sounds sort of like a twin flame dynamic, actually, now that I'm at the end of the reading, where like you're put in this person's life to grow and change. There may be problematic stuff or like bad stuff, even like abandonment that happens, or like they may be with someone else, and it's like, why am I meeting this person that I have this connection with? And I would say, you know, the twin flame thing has been so like just like messed with since there were like TV shows about these scammers on the internet like making money off of people and like making this like cult and like telling them they were gonna match them up with twin flames and like changing their genders for them. It was like really bizarre. But there's a girl on her bike and she wants to be in the reading because she is lonely and she parked her bike 2 inches away from my car. Yeah, I want to put that in the reading. There may be some like running away from home energy here, or like Peter Pan energy, but with Dumb and Dumber, it's like, it's also just like, you realize that you and this person are so alike. It's not that you're dumb, it's that you both like learned so much about the other kind of, like maybe one of you is right brain thinker and one of you is left brain thinker. One of you is broad thinker, one of you thinks in detail. One of you thinks like black and white, one of you thinks in gray, you know? So you learned some other way of thinking and you were like, oh, okay, they're right too, or like something like that. Or not they're right too, but yeah, I think that somebody really here in this situation was like telling you that what you're doing in some way is wrong. And actually, I think I do want to get one more card. What caused you a lot of anxiety? You felt isolated, but I think that actually you just have a really, oh, now I'm seeing like Dead Poets Society. Is that what it's called? It's a movie with Robin Williams where he's like in charge of this class and he teaches them all poetry and they all like are this, it's like this unruly group of boys. I don't think I've actually seen the whole thing. It's just from the 90s, so. I mentioned that because I think there was a dynamic here where this person like bent the rules to like do stuff. They may have needed feedback from other people to interact with you, and that may have pissed them off. You know, they may have like talked about you with other people, or you know, and that was more like, I don't know what to like make of this person or this situation, you know. They may have also shared your information or you shared their information, and that was a point of tension or friction. And this, yeah, I'm getting that this person is like incredibly psychic and picked up on something that changed the dynamic with information giving, and they were like, no. And again, this could be you maybe felt like the trust was gone at some point and you were just like, no. But I mentioned the twin flame thing because those people who are obsessed with those readings, which I do love Mystic Moon, if you follow her, she's one of my favorites, but they're not all twin flame readings. She's really good. It's like, it's more about finding, oh, I've like connected with somebody so intensely. Maybe this isn't supposed to work out. Maybe I'm supposed to like go on my own journey and find out who I am now that I've seen that there can be connections like that, right? Because I see the twin flame as just like, there's other twin flames, and then the human race is like this one big fire, you know? So it's also, you could see it as like there's these waves, and there's another wave that has a sort of frequency like yours, and we're all part of this bigger ocean. So okay, and I'm getting with Saint Agnes, when that came up before, this person and you both come from situations where you felt like you were the only one with like a sane, you both prided yourself on being like, well, I'm practical and logical and everyone around me's crazy, and then in the interaction you both saw how much dysfunction there really was, because managing other people who are crazy makes people like dysfunctional. It makes people scared, it makes people anxious, it makes people hypervigilant, because they're like dealing with people who are dysregulated, and guess what, that makes them dysregulated at a certain point. So I feel like this was like, I'm seeing a diamond shape. It was like it just became, why am I seeing a diamond? I'm just thinking the movie Blood Diamond, which has come through before. I also haven't seen the whole movie of that, but it's sort of like something amazing and beautiful that there's like an ugly history here. And I mean that for the relationship, that you both have like some dark trauma here, but then the relationship is the diamond that came out of that. It's not the best metaphor, because it's like, it's true, the people who are used in some, or were used in some diamond mines, are like not treated well, and it's like horrible, and it's related to some major institutionalized issues. But also, like, there is that beautiful diamond, and I'm not saying it's like so great that they're sold for so much money and only the rich people get them, but I guess the metaphor is more meant to be like that. If some things, like, we don't, okay, here's what it is. Sarah's telling me. So there's since these bad places, were so dysregulated, similar to what I said before about people being dysregulated, there's been more like, lockdowns and like rules and regulations, so there's less like situations like that. But the truth is, there are situations where like fine crafts and goods are like made in bad situations that are shoddy, or people aren't being treated well. I mean, look at how we use Apple. All the people who work in sweatshops in China, they are making some money, but their lives are very difficult. But I'm saying, oh, okay, here's the bigger point. That then it's like, people who know that about Apple might at a certain point just be like, okay, well, it's a great company, but I don't necessarily need Apple products. I mean, I don't know. I like to have an Apple phone, so I'm a hypocrite. But I'm just saying, like, there's something here in this dynamic with this person. It's coming through a little more clear. That, like, it made you less materialistic, okay? Because you may have both been focused on money, I'm so poor in some way. Like, I have no status in society for both people, or I have no whatever. I don't have what I want. I don't have what I need. And then somehow the relationship, you saw the ugliness, maybe just through talking and seeing each other's points of views. You like were like surmised that doesn't matter to you so much anymore. And you were like, this is just a blood diamond. I'm also hearing from the Sopranos. I freaking love this scene where Carmela goes to the Jewish psychiatrist or psychologist, maybe, and maybe he's an analyst, and he says, like, you have to leave your husband because he's a criminal and he's like killing people, and this is really bad. He's in the mafia. You're in danger, and cheating on you is like the least of his crimes. Like he's like a bad person, and he should read Crime and Punishment, which is a great book, and go do his sentence. And he's like, I won't even accept your money because it's blood money. And so of course Carmela, we all know, doesn't leave him. And I think this person maybe in a situation like that where they're accepting blood money from someone, maybe the person they're married to or family, and it's like it's like they're trying to figure out how to get their own money, obviously. They're like, and somehow interacting with you, they're like, this isn't what I want for my life, you know? And there's a greater metaphor there of just like not accepting, sorry, I keep talking about Agnes and not talking about her. Like with Agnes, just staying true to our beliefs and morals. And that's the end of the reading. I'm sorry, I got cut off there. The lamb stands for, you know, obviously virginity in her case, but also sweetness. And this person may have Aries in the chart because lamb is rams. All right, and just, I'm not going to really do any confirmations today. I kind of did them, but I am getting the number 7, which is about Neptune, which is, I want to say here, can be about changeability and magic. Yeah, and that is the reading. A little bit weird today, but thank you so much for tuning in. If you're interested in getting a reading, it's $45 for 45 minutes via Cash App or PayPal, paid first, pre-recorded or Zoom, and it is a suggested donation. I do channeling, mediumship, and tarot, also astrology. I accept one free question. I'll put my email below. I'm about to post some extended readings that will be incredibly affordable and some other things. So thank you so much. It is said, it is written, as done.